Hello, everyone. My name is Alan, and I work at Asana in product marketing. And I'm really excited to take you through this demonstration to show how nonprofit organizations around the world are using Asana to forward their missions. And to do that, we're going to look at a fictional organization called Pinnacle.org, who's really focused on furthering educational opportunities around the world. And as we go through this story, we're going to hit a couple different personas, like Jamie, who's a director at Pinnacle. Let's go ahead and dive into Jamie's persona. Here we are inside of Asana. This is where she logs in every day, as she can see her upcoming tasks, her favorite projects and portfolios. We'll check out what that is in a moment, and her recent projects. For those who haven't seen Asana before, let me orient you to the interface. On the top right, she has her profile with settings, along with a very powerful search, so she can find any information she needs in Asana. On the left-hand side, she has her tasks, her inbox, as well as her favorite projects and portfolios. There are teams with all the projects associated with them, and let's go ahead and dive into her My Tasks. These are all the things that she's working on gathered into one place. And it's organized by date, it's got tags for projects that they belong to, and we can see that she can look at it also as a calendar. So this is where Jamie can really prioritize and plan out what she needs to get done. Let's go ahead and take a look at her inbox. Now, this is where she gets notifications for anything that she's a collaborator on. So if someone uploads a picture, if someone updates a task, or if a project gets updated, this is where all that information flows. This is how Jamie can keep a great visibility across the entire organization and really stay up to date with what's going on. Let's click into one. And here we get a view of the task that generated that notification. We can see that a task has an assignee, a due date, as well as what project it belongs to. Over here we have custom fields. These are metadata that describe the type of work. Down below we have a description, of course, that gives information about what needs to be done, as well as the ability to create subtasks, the steps that help make this task come to life. At the bottom we've got a great place for the whole team to have conversation about the work itself. Let's go ahead and dive into one of her key projects, the marketing fundraising campaign. This is where Jamie and her team can come together to figure out all the tasks that they need to do to help raise funds. And so we see there are sections for advertising, for email outreach, website updates, all the things that they need to be done in order to help move this campaign forward. And in each of these rows are essentially the tasks. We've got the signees, the custom fields, all the information that one needs to understand the work that needs to be done. And the great thing about custom fields is that it's very easy to add in some extra ones. So here you can click and add a new one. You can turn on and off ones that have already been added. And to add a new custom field, you just give it a name. And there are several different types that you can choose from. Text, numbers, and of course you have currency, percentages, all the information that you can possibly need to help describe the work that needs to be done. Now this is the list view of a project. Fortunately for Jamie and her team, they can view this in many other ways, like this one, a board view. This is a Kanban style view where each card is a task. And you can move tasks from the left to the right along these sections. Now another view is the calendar view. Similar to the inbox, this is where tasks are aligned on a calendar, really giving a sense of what's coming up. In the progress tab, you can see what tasks have been completed, what are incomplete, as well as a project status. You can see milestones and all the information about how the project is progressing along. Now there's one more view called the timeline view. This is a really great view for Jamie's team. It gives a task in a timeline where you can see dependencies. And that's what this line is here. That shows what tasks are dependent on previous ones being completed. And Asana is smart. As you move things along, as things will change in a project, it'll automatically shift the tasks downstream to keep things up to date for you. Let's explore this task over here. So this is for creating a new landing page for Pinnacle.org, and Nolan's working on this and has a number of subtasks that he's working on. So what we can do is actually help him out by attaching some files. And that can be done at the top right here. You see we can attach from your computer as well as integrations with many content sources like Dropbox, Google Drive, and so forth. Let's go ahead and select this image of these campaign thermometers that he can use on the landing page. This is going to be really helpful for the campaign. And so with that, the image is now uploaded and it appears in the conversation down below. And all the folks collaborating here can give it a like, respond to it with some comments saying, hey, here's some image that you can use, and they can do a lot more. If you click into the image, you can see that, hey, there's something that we might want to change. What we can do is click and assign a subtask to it directly using proofing. Here we want to see, can we update this text to say pinnacle.org? And as you can see, a subtask is created with that number 1, and it stays at that specific spot on the image. Awesome. So that's one of the key projects that Jamie and her team uses at pinnacle.org. Let me show you one more. And that's this one called Community Support Requests. This is the project that Jamie and her team uses to manage all the requests that come from the community. So folks outside of the organization can add in ideas and requests directly for her team to address. This is viewed in the Kanban style board view. As you can see, the task can be moved from left to right. And typically these columns are set up as stages. And so as a request comes in, you can move it to in progress, to prioritize, and so forth. How do tasks get created? Well, this project can be shared with team members and other folks throughout pinnacle.org. Another way is to use forms. This is our clicks, not code way to create a web form that can be filled out and will automatically create a task right into that project. And as you can see here, we've set this up to bring in a lot of information, description, what sort of help is needed. And the great thing is that you can add in any question type that you want. Paragraphs, numbers, attachments, and even the custom fields are available to you in forms. And with a simple click, you can add them to it, provide a description, and then you can reorganize the form as you like. Once the form is ready, you can then put this anywhere. You can put it onto a website, into an email signature, you can send it over to someone. Let's take a quick look at what it looks like when someone fills out the form. Here we're on a community member's phone, and his name is Henry Parson, and he can add in the name of his request. He's looking for volunteers to help out with remote education training and can provide details of what they're looking for. Now, the form makes it easier for him. He can add in what support's needed, what date it's needed, if he's already receiving some aid, and then he can provide more information. How many people is it affecting? What's the location, the city? This is all information that's going to help Jamie's team better prioritize and move things through. And with a single click, the form is submitted. And if we head back over to Asana, we'll see that the task has been created right into the new request column. All the information is there for pinnacle.org and Jamie's team to get to work on it. And you might notice that some things have actually already been set for us. For example, the signee has been set to Michelle Weeks. That's actually run through what we call Asana automation. Let me show a quick example. If I set the size to, say, over 500, we're going to see a rule fire in the lower left. Because the custom field is set to over 500, we want to make sure that there are more followers and folks are alerted to this request. Let me show you how Jamie and the rest of the pinnacle.org team set up these automations so that they can save a lot of time. In the top right of the project, you can see the rules menu, and there are a number of rules that are already set on this project. For example, we want to assign a task to a particular regional program lead based on where the task came from. To set up a new rule, it's quite easy for Jamie and the team. We can create a new rule, and Asana provides a variety of recommendations from agile task management, ones connected with integrations. But if she wants to create her own custom rule, that can be done here. And rules are made up of two parts, triggers and actions. Let's go ahead and pick a trigger for a new role. For example, if a task is added to the project, we can then decide what kind of actions we want to automate. In this case, let's maybe assign it to a person for them to prioritize and take a look at. In this case, let's assign it to Michelle. We can also even add in comments so that she has context for what's going on. Great. Now, all these projects are wonderful and help Jamie's team out along, but I'd like to show you where she helps collect and manage them all together. And that's here in a portfolio. In this case, their objective is to help communities around the world with education. And there's a number of projects that help feed into that. The marketing fundraising campaign, outreach campaign, the Pinnacles event tour. Each of these help Jamie and the rest of the pinnacle.org team move these missions forward. And so here you can see the status of each project, the task progress, what dates they're in the works, and so forth. Well, let's go ahead and fast forward and see a moment which actually needs Jamie and the rest of the team to jump into action. And that takes us over to another environment. Here in Outlook, information can come to Jamie in a number of places, through phone calls, through just chatting with someone. And in this case, she gets an email from her friend Fred, who's basically said that, hey, I've stumbled across a great opportunity for the organization. Perhaps you might want to take a look at this new grant. And a very common problem with email, and something that Jamie and the team runs into, is that key information and actions that are in emails can easily get lost inside of a thread. And so in order to preserve it, Asana and integrations help her make sure that work keeps moving forward. Here we can see an Asana integration right inside of Outlook. She can set a due date, select what project inside of Asana to add to, and we can select that marketing fundraising campaign. We can provide a little bit of a description and create a task right here from Outlook. There are also other great integrations with communication tools like Gmail, Slack, Microsoft Teams. This really helps Jamie and the whole of Pinnacle.org make sure that work is moving forward wherever they may happen. Let's click into to view the task, and we can see that it's brought in the information from Outlook. Here's that email from Fred. And now in this task, Jamie can start to get to work on this. She can assign a priority level where this information came from, and it was in an email. And she can start assigning out subtasks to make sure that this grant gets followed up on. So to review it, she can assign that to herself. And she can also draft a grant proposal. And here's where she can start to involve even folks outside of Pinnacle.org, contractors, for example. And so by assigning it here, we can see that a contractor has been assigned, and we can even click into that task if we want to. And here's where the contractor and guests outside the organization can collaborate together on the work. Now, that last task is to log this to Salesforce. Asana integrates really well with Salesforce as well. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Here we are inside of Salesforce. We can see this grant opportunity is created right here. It has a number of stages to it, as well as details down below. The grant amount and what kind of information is relevant for this grant. Now, in order to make sure that this opportunity is well connected with the folks who can help work on it, you can see we have an Asana integration. Here, you can create tasks directly from Salesforce, connected to projects. In this case, let's go ahead and create a task. We'd like some help to make sure that our grant proposal really shines. So let's get some creative assistance, providing some information about what we're looking for here. To make sure that the folks who are helping us out have all the information that they need, we can attach an attachment with information about this grant. And now we can assign this to the correct Asana project, such as requests for creative production. This is going to put this task into a project that the creative team uses to prioritize and assign out work. So someone on Jamie's team who operates inside of Salesforce can use this integration to keep up to date with the creative team right through that integration. Well, let's head over to the creative team. In this case, Chris, our graphic designer, who's going to log in and see that task come on through. Here's Chris's view inside of Asana. On the left-hand side, he's got his projects that he uses to track all the creative work that's going on. And here inside of Request for Creative Production, we can see that task that's come on through from Salesforce. Now, this project is set up as a board view, so tasks move from the left towards the right, from getting assigned to being worked on, quality checked, and then delivered. Let's check out that task that came in from Salesforce. Here it is. We can see the information that Jamie's requested, and what the integration has done is actually provided a rich payload in the comments. Here's all the information about that grant opportunity, and Jamie can go to the top and start filling out some of that custom field information, like the priority. This is a high priority grant opportunity, the number of hours expected for this piece of work, and to assign this to a particular team. And we see that actually an automation gets fired. Because this is set to the graphics team, it automatically gets assigned to Chris. This really helps the team save a lot of time from the logistics. Chris can provide a little comment in the task, which will be synced right into Salesforce. Well, let's go ahead and get started on this task and show what Chris normally sees. Here he is inside of Adobe Photoshop. Since he's a graphic designer, this is the program that he uses most frequently. And you can see that he's already working on some work for this task. But in the top right, he's got access to Asana as well. This is the Asana Adobe integration. And here he has access to a list of all of his tasks. And if he clicks into that first task, he can see all the information we've seen with that grant opportunity, the description, and so forth. And what he can do is share the work he's been working on by simply clicking a button. It can attach a preview so the rest of the team can weigh in on it. He can provide even communication through here saying, here's an idea that I'm working on, and provide that comment. Now, at the very top of this task, he also has access to the custom fields, and he can run those automations here inside of Adobe. By setting this to ready for review, we can see that it automatically assigns this to Jamie, sets the due date, so that the work keeps moving forward. Let's go ahead and fast forward in time, head over into this task, and let's attach the creative asset that's been requested. We can go ahead and upload this from our computer. by uploading a PDF, and we see that it attaches it here into the task. Now, we need to get approval for this from Jamie, and what we can do is in the top right, we can set this task as an approval, or we can get an approval on the attachment itself by just clicking it and requesting approval. With that, a subtask is created, and we can assign this over to Jamie. Let's go ahead and do that and provide a date that we need it by. And we can take a look at what Jamie sees. Here she is in her inbox. Again, the place she gets all those notifications. And we see at the very top, hey, here's that image he's been working on, as well as that approval attachment. She can click in, view the PDF, and you know what? If she wants to use proofing, she can provide feedback right here. And in this case, she's going to say, this is beautiful. I love what you're working on. This will create a little subtask. And what she can do is right here, she can approve this. Now, approvals allow her to approve it, request changes, or even reject it. But this looks great, so she can go ahead and move forward. Now, the great thing about Asana and approvals is that she can not only do this at her desktop, but she can also do this on mobile at her iPad. Give this thing a good approval. She can even do this on her iPhone. We can see the same information, the inbox, the attachment, and approve it from here as well. Awesome. With this grant proposal approved, let's go ahead and see how we move forward with Asana and Salesforce. If we move the opportunity to the next stage, we're actually going to see something happen in the lower left. An Asana project is automatically created. And this is not from magic or demo magic. This is actually an automation between Asana's API and Salesforce's API. And if we click into that, we'll see that a project is automatically created when the opportunity hits a particular stage. This is an example of one of the many types of automations that you can create inside of Salesforce. And here, a project is created with assignees, due dates, custom fields already set so that the team can get to work faster. Well, let's go ahead and fast forward in time and assume that this opportunity is awarded, which is great news. Now, Jamie and the rest of the team can get to action and help out the communities with educational opportunities. How does Jamie enact this with all of her regional program leads? Well, here we are in a project for a weekly meeting with the regional program leads. And in this meeting project, we have a number of sections, the action items, the current standing agenda items, as well as what to talk about in the upcoming meeting. And if we go back to the top, we're actually going to see one of the tasks that Jamie has set up to help inform everyone of this new program. Here, she can lay out information about it, but in particular, let's focus on the subtask. Here, she's asking all the program leads to create their own project from a template that she set up. She's providing all the information from instructions, the grant resources, and so forth. And in order to assign this out to all her leads, well, she can save a lot of time with Asana by assigning this out to a team, like the regional team leads. Rather than assigning this to each person individually, Asana can do the hard work for Jamie. And you can see that it's assigning this out to all the folks around the world. Let's go ahead and focus on one of them, Michelle. She's the regional program lead in South America, and we saw that one of the tasks was assigned to her. So when she logs into Asana, she arrives at her inbox and sees that task that Jamie created for her. All the information about the grant, how she can enact this with her programs in the area. And what she can do is click right into that task and see the project that Jamie and the team has laid out. This makes it very easy and very quick for her to get things going. And she can use this template and create her own project. Here she will rename it to our team's regional program, set the team, and here she can also set the start and end date. This is where Asana's automation comes into play. Because the template has a number of dates inside of its template, what Asana will do is look at that start and end date and shift all the dates automatically for her, so she doesn't need to worry about that. All the custom fields get put in, and with that, the project has been spun up, and she can favorite it and add it to her left-hand side. Now, just like Jamie had portfolios to help manage their objectives, Michelle has her own. This one here called Regional Activities. This is a portfolio, a collection of projects that she uses to track all the key programs in her area that are moving their objective forward. With funding from this new grant, she can add this new project by just clicking above and adding in our team's regional program engagement. And with that, it's added to the portfolio. She can give a quick status update just to let Jamie know that, thank you so much for this template. We've spun it up. We're really excited to help out our community with it. She can set it to on track and provide that quick update. Now, something that's really important to Michelle and all the volunteers in her area is to make sure that everyone's workload is well set. And I'd like to introduce you to the workload view inside of portfolios. Here we can see everyone on her team from Carly all the way down to Veronica. And on the right hand side, we have a graph of all the tasks they're working on over time. And we can see it split up by the projects that they're involved with. Now, the number of tasks is a great measurement, but oftentimes some tasks are harder than others. And so if we switch this over from task count to estimated hours, we see, there's a red spot for Carly Coates. And the reason why that appears is because we've set the capacity of the team to 40 hours a week. And for some reason at that spot, Carly's actually dedicated to more than she has time to work on. By expanding the view, we see, here's the culprit. We've got a task here that might need a little bit more time. So we can extend it to have more time and move it out. That way, everything is more evened out and no one's going to suffer from burnout. This is the great thing that workload can provide to Michelle's team. And with that, let's go ahead and see how this program gets further moved forward with Asana. Let's switch gears to Veronica, one of the volunteers on the ground who are working on these programs. And her view of Asana is through her iPhone app. Here's her favorite projects, all the ones that Michelle has put together, from education all the way down to that new regional program. She's got access to the same tasks here. She can scroll on over and see, the due dates, the custom fields of them. She can click in for more information. And the things that are assigned to her, such as signage, making sure that's set up, she can start checking them off here. And when the day of the event comes, this is where she can collaborate with the rest of the team. Here's where the event opens up, and she can start providing information such as images of the event itself. By attaching this in, she can provide real-time feedback to the team. Here, hey, there's a great outpouring from the community. We're helping a lot of people today. And she can even find places to help the program in the future, such as adding proofing points. Here, like the sign could have been a little bit larger to help with organization of the flow. And with that, the proofing creates a subtask here from her mobile device, just like we saw on the desktop. Now, because Pinnacle.org and a lot of the volunteers are on the go, they need to be able to take tasks in very easily, and oftentimes in a hands-free motion. And so here she can create a task and use voice recognition to talk to Asana. Let's give it a try. The information packets were really popular. Let's print out more next time. And so Asana will attach that voice recording, but also provide a transcription, making it really easy and fast for volunteers on the ground to provide feedback. Let's go ahead and create this task, and it goes right into that project for everyone to follow up on. So the event is going well. Let's head back over to Michelle and see what she sees from this regional event. In her inbox, you can see the tasks that Veronica's created, which is great, but she can also see those photos, the feedback, and the great outpouring from the community. She wants to share this with the rest of Pinnacle.org along with the learnings from the event. And so she can go to a project, the Regional South American Programs, and go to the Progress tab to provide a status update. Here she can give information about the outpouring from the community. She can mention Jamie Staples, the Director of Programs, and post this. Now, if we head back over to Jamie at headquarters, she'll see this notification in her inbox, but also see it here in her portfolio in regional programs. She can click in, and if she wants to dive into that project to get all the details that she needs to help out the entirety of Pinnacle.org. She gives it a good thumbs up. But with that feedback, she's eager to figure out how can she help Pinnacle.org be more efficient. And in order to do that, she needs to do some data analysis. And Asana's work management data provides a wealth of information to let her and the Pinnacle.org team know what's working well. Asana integrates with a variety of data analytics tools like Microsoft Power BI, Tableau, and what you can do is provide information from a team, a project, or portfolio and create reports just like this. Here we can see what work is coming in to Pinnacle.org over the month, how many estimated hours per month, as well as what teams are requesting that kind of help. Is it updates, new content, and so forth? We can look at the status of work, and we see to date 247 tasks have been completed, 23 are open, and 6 are ready for review. So we can figure out where things might be getting bottlenecked. We also take a look at what type of work is getting done. And here we can see of all the work, we can split it out by type. This is using the custom field data. So we can see some tasks are print, some are copy, graphics, and on the right-hand side, we can look at what type of tasks are in the works. Jamie's even able to start doing calculations and figuring out, what type of tasks are getting done faster than expected, and perhaps can optimize the teams that way. Using custom fields, she can also look at location data. Looking at lat long, region codes, and so forth, she can see where work is taking place for her entire organization. And we see there is quite a bit on the East Coast, and we can see how approval stages and what type of tasks are being done in those areas. And lastly, she can combine Asana data with other data sources like Salesforce. And so, with opportunities, just like that grant funding request we saw, we can see what type of tasks are influencing them being successfully awarded or rejected. And in this case, we can kind of see that the ones that aren't being awarded perhaps have less tasks, less collaboration between the teams. And so, with that, we've seen how Jamie and the rest of the Pinnacle.org team can collaborate to manage their processes, to collaborate with folks externally, even to apply for grants and execute them down to the volunteer on the ground, working to move these programs forward. With these programs looking great, Jamie can go ahead and mark off this milestone task of launching this fundraising campaign. And we've got a great celebration, and the whole team can keep the mission moving forward together. I hope you learned from this demonstration not only about how Asana works, but also how nonprofit organizations are using this to move their missions forward. Thanks so much, and back to you.